Welcome back to the Space Team's Guide to the new Space Survey in FAMIS Cloud. In this second video, we will go over how to add or edit your space's complex allocations. Complex allocations are FAMIS Cloud's storage method for data on allocated groups, functions, and individuals. Functions and individuals are allocated nested under each allocated group, and each layer may have multiple allocations. Navigate to the leftmost tab in the Survey Details section, Complex Allocations. If the space already has allocations, you may just want to edit the existing ones by clicking the Copy from Current Allocation option. Click Create New from Blank to start a new allocation. When creating a new allocation, you will first be asked to describe it with a name, then to provide at least a start date for when it is expected to go into effect. After adding a name and start date, click on Allocated Group to begin your allocation with one of the groups that the space is allocated to. Your space can be divided between one or more groups. Select the group you need to allocate to. Then, enter a percentage for the allocation as an integer and click Save. You will now see the options to add another group allocation or to add a nested allocation beneath the one you just made. Let's add a nested allocation to our first group before adding a new one. Click the Add Nested Allocation link as shown above, and you will now see the option to choose the type of allocation you will add nested underneath your first group. Do not select Space Category. This is an incongruent default option that UNM already accounts for outside of complex allocations. Either add a space function or an allocated individual. Let's add a space function. To add a space function, first select the functional category and subcategory, and then enter an integer for the percentage it occupies of the overarching allocated group space. Click Save when finished. Now we have the choice to either add a new group or nest an allocation under a finished allocation. Let's nest an allocated individual under our group next to the function. Similar to allocated group, you will find a drop-down for the individual and a field for percentage under this type of allocation. Let's set an individual to 50% so we can practice managing multiple allocations on a layer. Click Save when finished. All allocations of one type, meaning individual or function, on a single level will need to add up to 100%. In this example, we are allocating two individuals under a group, who will share the space under that group 50-50. Currently, all types of allocation under our first allocated group add up to 100% each. The space function occupies 100%, and the individuals occupy 50% each. We can finish the first allocated group here, but we'll need to add at least one more group to account for the other 50% of the total space. Click the second instance of allocated group to start another group, and repeat the allocation process. Your finished allocations may look something like this. Note again that each allocation type on each level of nesting totals to 100%. Because the two allocated groups in the example occupy 100% total of the space, we should not add another group. It is time to click Save if we would like to revisit our work later, or save and submit. Submitting your survey will immediately send your space survey to the queue of a member of the space team who can approve your new data. Once your survey is approved, your update will be added to the space database. Thank you for taking the time to learn with us about all three FAMIS updater tasks. If you have any further questions about FAMIS, always feel free to email the space team at space@unm.edu.